What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to The Den. If you're not familiar with The Den is the best conversation on the internet. You may say, well, why is The Den the best conversation on the internet? Well, it is because of you wonderful people who show up whenever the show is actually on. I know the last 2 days were absentees, so, I apologize for that. It was not necessarily a planned absence. But tonight we're going to talk about the P word. A word that I don't think should be a very controversial word. I think it should be pretty clear cut what kind of stance a person should have on that, in my opinion. But apparently, some folks say there's some wiggle room on topics like this, which is not necessarily something that I agree with in any form or fashion. So there's that. Now, we're going to discuss this conversation, how it seems to have permeated I don't know. It's like it's something that's being discussed, but it's not being discussed by the people who should be, and you start to wonder why, right? And a lot of weird things have gone on that make you question certain platforms, certain people, certain industries when it comes to this word. But let's see who we have joining us this evening, and then we will. I think we'll get into a pretty interesting conversation. All right, so let's see who we have in the mix. I see Miss Bell. What's the motherfucking deal? Hope all is well. The lovely Miss K. Grace. I hope all is well with you this evening, ma'am. Lockbert. Sir, what's the motherfucking deal? The John from New York show, my favorite New Yorker. Might be my favorite show from New York. Saturday Night Live film in New York. So, yeah. So, Lise, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Stephanie Paul, what's the motherfucking deal? How are you this evening, ma'am? Versatile Titan, hey, what's going down? How have you been? Marquise, what's the motherfucking deal? Betty Spaghetti, ma'am, how are you this evening? And you say they're protecting the elites, and that's very interesting, right? Because you got a lot of questions. Frost, what's the motherfucking deal? You got a lot of questions when it comes to this, right? Behavior, this conversation, and it's really a disgusting thing because, like, usually when you think of it, you think of these like one-off motherfuckers, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think it's just like, it's just like the neighborhood sicko, right? It's just a pervert, who kind of just lurks around. You don't really think, it's bad. Like, the pervert itself is bad, but like, I don't think people think of it like as this organized, like, industry, basically. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna let y'all know what team I'm going to. When we get close to the season, baby. Y'all just wait. I got y'all, baby. But like, it's this organized behavior, organized crime. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you don't want to believe that things are as crazy as they are, but then you see, like, the whole situation with Epstein, and you see how close he was to all of these people, who came and hung out with this dude, like, privately, and you wonder, well, what other ties do they have with this, just one individual? Other than, just a bunch of people having some ties together, right? They just hang out at the same parties, they're in the same circles. But why? Why is this guy in the same circles as the most powerful people on earth. And don't get me wrong, they had some money. There's a lot of people that have a lot of money that still aren't even in those circles with some of the most, uh, powerful people on the planet. They have, a good chunk of money, right? But, it's a crazy, crazy. it's it's like that's why I should be. It's kind of I'm gonna laugh there, but that's a sad thing. Like that's crazy. Um, but like I say, yeah, it's disgusting, right? And it's like this behavior. Um, but my question is, like, we know all of that is perverse. We know it's disgusting. We're gonna talk about that. But like, is Hollywood, is the entertainment, like, are they trying to groom like the rest of society to accept it? Or are they grooming children to like engage in these behaviors more, right? Because you see some of the shows that come out and come on, like now there was a show I used to talk about. It's very funny. I had to stop watching when I really sat back and thought about what I was watching, right? And like that cartoon Big Mouth, right? This fucking cartoon about a bunch of little kids going through puberty, right? It's just some of the craziest shit in the world. Like, some of the craziest fucking shit that they're talking about. I'm just like, at first I'm like, oh, this is hilarious. And I'm just like, wait. This is a cartoon about kids going through puberty. It's fucking disgusting. Like, nah. And it started getting real weird. And just some of the shit that was going on was like really crazy. I don't know why the fuck my eyes are like really itchy. They're fucking super dry. Oh, pardon me. And so like, yeah, excuse me. I'm gonna continue to talk, but and it's just like stuff like that. And then you have like the kid who's on the thumbnail, right? That Desmond is amazing kid, right? Kids were like, I don't know, because he's been at it for a while. He's probably about to be too old for him. They're probably gonna throw him away and go for some other younger kid. But I know he was like 9 or 10, when he kind of started getting his little rise to fame, and little drag kid, right? They got him doing drag stuff at grown people's bars and other stuff like that. Like, when is it acceptable for a kid to be in an adult bar? Like, I don't care for whatever reason, especially to be performing, right? A drag child, nonetheless. And we know what's going on. Whether you're for or against people expressing their sexuality in whatever method they want to, I think there's some limits. We're talking about grooming. We talk about this drag queen story time, right? With the children, let's get the children ready and normalize this to them at a young age to say, hey, there's nothing wrong with grown men walking around in, women's clothing and dressing and acting like women, and whatever they want to do, right? So here's my big deal about it, because people sit here and say, oh, well, you guys are just, you guys are oppressed and you guys are this. But like, why are all the issues that tend to be like a problem with that always sexual issues? It's never anything else other than that. The only issues they're purely sexual. Like, and what you do basically with your sex life is kind of your own business. Like, nobody gets like to do public shit. And that's like what the issue is. Like, we want to be able to do crazy shit in public and make everybody else like accept it. Like, put everything on Front Street. Nobody gets to do that. So, my deal is just like, if you start encouraging the children to see this at a young age, then, they think nothing of it. You got people taking these kids to these pride parades. And again, whatever your sexuality, that's, your choice, that's fine and dandy. But some of the things that go on at these venues, like, just as well as I do, is completely inappropriate for shit, the public eye, much less, children to be there. Now, people wouldn't be keen on it if it was something, you reverse it like a straight pride parade. And you got strippers and video vixens and G-strings and shit walking around and kids taking off. Like, people would be upset about it. Like, you would say it would be inappropriate. People doing like these publicly lewd acts. You would say it would be inappropriate. So my thing is like, it's not about sexuality. Like, whatever you do is whatever. But the way you present it, the way you present your argument, like your case, whatever, it's like, if your issue is sexuality, that's a very, like, I think on the grand scheme of things, it's like irrelevant. But going back to that, like I said, you got the little kid now, and you're using him, at 10, 11 years old, they had like a whole show of them, like a bunch of them, right? And again, like I say, you're encouraging this behavior, and you're giving for what? For doing what, right? Because it's nothing heroic these days. It's nothing amazing. It's like, I guess once that barrier's been crossed, everybody's doing it. You have the whole problem. Like, so, like, I got to be careful because then people are going to start saying I'm bashing people here in a second. Let me bring it back to where we're going. But like I said, you just see this whole culture of things like aiming almost younger and younger, right? Like, why is it that we want to teach kids so young about everything sexual? Like, why is this a thing? Like, why are people aiming at elementaries to start teaching kids about sexual? Like, it doesn't matter what you do. It should not be something that they're worried about. Like, again, though, but people try to use it as, those are guys of oppression or whatever else. But again, like I say, so, you're normalizing this stuff and you're seeing it. Like, the characters on TV, the way they dress some of these characters, the things, it's like, this is for kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is for children? And again, like, the kids, they're not thinking about it. They're just thinking it's normal. Hey, well, my favorite character used to dress like this. It's no problem. Like, and then, here you go, right? He was stripping and getting dollars, started in a men's club in Good Morning America. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I agree, Trixie. Absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, that's why I'm like, I feel like America's on the decline. Like, I think we all know this. And it's to a point where I don't think there's any going back, Jack. You know what I'm saying? And so whatever that means to you, I think, you got to deal with that accordingly. Because I'm just looking at everything, and again, it's like way off topic. I'm gonna save this for another conversation. But yeah, I think we've crossed that hill. I think it's. I mean, like you said, we've seen it before. You've seen it in every powerful society beforehand. Like, now, it's no longer about the fight outside. We're too busy fighting internally. And again, what is that? A house fight I can't stand, and all those good things. And then it's anyway. Like I said, it's a whole other conversation. But get into it. You just look at these numbers. I don't have them in front of me, but I mean, you just thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, almost, if I'm not mistaken, of like children disappearing, missing, like year in and year out, all over the place, right? And you're just like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? And again, it's not every single one is not getting yamped up and taken to a, secret ritual or some shit. There's, like I say, there's just disgusting motherfuckers who are doing crazy. I mean, there's just wild shit happening all over the place. I mean, we live in a crazy world. It's just, as civil as we try to make it, this motherfucker's still wild, right? And, but it's just so many, like, you're just wondering what the fuck. And people who have just, somebody's ended up being like, where the fuck did they go? What happened to these people? You know what I'm saying? These children. You see them on the milk cartons. You see them on the, You used to get those letters, you know what I'm saying? And they would do the age enhancing little thing, like, this was them at like 3, and this is what we think they look like now. Like, I remember being young and looking at them motherfuckers. I was been between the ages of that shit, and I guess I don't know if that was something the kids should probably be paying attention to or even concerned with, but I remember looking at them things. They used to have them like at the Walmarts too, and I used to just like wonder, where are they? Are they like still alive? Like, what if they just, like, what if they are? Like, what if they're like just living a completely different life? What if they're dead? I mean, who knows, right? Because you hear some of these stories every now and then. I think the likelihood we know is it's always a negative, but you just wonder sometimes. But what we're talking about tonight is more and more we're seeing these people. Everybody related on the thumbnail, who Christy Elia or whatever he was, D'Elia. I can't even say his name. I don't even know. It doesn't matter. He's a pedo. Got caught up recently in a young girl's DMs. But it was super funny, right? Everybody made a joke out of it because he played, pedophile on Workaholics. It was a funny episode. It's a very fucking funny episode. I don't know if it's funny or sad now when you find something out like that. Then the Epstein chick, she was out there recruiting young girls for these motherfuckers. Like, you look at stories like this. You think about like R. Kelly stories. You think about some of these other people, and I wonder, like, who's worse? Like the sick people who have these sick, perverse pleasures, like they're out there pursuing, they're craving this perverseness, right? This is what they seek. Or the people who are like enabling, who are recruiting, who are out for, like, they don't get any, benefit out of this. It's almost business. It's almost just, purely for, or whatever it is with the benefit that they do get. I mean, it's not a sexual, it's not a, like, they know that they're leading people to a bad situation. And again, just doing it willingly for, I'm assuming, some type of monetary benefit or some sure type of power, over, some of these folks. I heard, when they raided one of those properties, there was a bunch of tapes that had different names on them that, may or may not have made it where they were supposed to make it. So, I don't know. It's just my thoughts. So, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to spend too much more time, right? Because, certain people from certain places in a certain country like to say, I spend too much time talking, and that's why people don't get in on the line and call in. But what I want to discuss tonight, man, is do you really believe that it's a deep, organized, structured, like, ring of people who are out here, kidnapping children and or whatever, or for whatever purposes? Do you think it's more than one if you do believe in that thing? Do you think it's an upper-ranking thing? Do you think there's some type of ritualistic shit going on? Are these people just purely, perverse for pure sexual pleasures? Are they, like, I want to know your thoughts upon it, because I know that I've heard lots of different theories and beliefs. So, when you call in tonight, I'd like to know what you believe, what you think, what you suspect. Why is it almost prevalent in communities like Hollywood? Where you see, a lot of this perverted behavior at a young age almost encouraged. everything was good until Mike M showed up. I don't even think it's his real. I really don't think it's his real name. I don't. And so I don't trust him. You know, I actually think he is. I can't remember the name of that radio show. The guy would do the voices. But I think that he's like a guy. Then he gets in the Discord and he does two different voices. He like just goes back and forth. And he has conversations with himself. It's the craziest shit you've ever seen. You might need help. But you know, like just the perverseness, you know, that's kind of like I say permeating, you know, throughout the world, society, and all these. Oh, I remember what really had me thinking about this, right? And I can't remember if it was Professor Trill that sent it to me or who, but I think it was Scottie Pippen's wife, right? Taking a picture with, I'm assuming their daughter, and the girl is 12. And the outfit that she had on, to me, even though it was a bathing suit, you say, oh, it's just a bathing suit. It's inappropriate. Like, fucking inappropriate. It's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was good, Wood. Damn, that'd be very disturbing. I don't know what that is, but it sounds. Man, I don't even know. But that's but like I said, you know, it's some wild shit. Like I do believe that there are some things going on. Because you hear about these like inappropriate rings of child imagery, right? And it's like, who the fuck is out here getting this shit? If you're hearing about, you know, hundreds of motherfuckers get busted here or in these different countries and shit like that, and you know, not everybody out there is. Hopefully, I'm assuming that not everybody out there involved in these things is kidnapped. But I mean, if you got a few of them, are too many. But it's just like, I don't know, man. Like I just you think about this shit, and you're like, what the fuck, honestly. But somebody's making this shit, so it's like it's happening, right? And I'm trying to think about it, like without thinking about, you know, getting too fucking gruesome into the shit. But it's happening, so somebody's out there doing these things. Somebody's out there, you know, trafficking to other people for whatever. Like it's happening, and I don't understand why. I don't understand who gets into that kind of weird shit. But whatever. But going back to Scottie Pippen's ex-wife and the kid, like, one, as a mom, like you got this kid looking crazy as shit. I don't care how tall or how big, like it's fucking inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? Like. Motherfuckers just like, I don't fucking know, man. But again, when you start living that life, you get that fucking disconnected shit. Like, motherfuckers don't know what's good. But hoes actually encourage that kind of behavior too. Like, I'm not talking about like hoes and like real hoes and encourage young shenaniganery, because a lot of them took place, a lot of them engaged in young shenaniganery, so, you know, they justify the shit. Alright, I'm gonna stop talking. I want to know what y'all think. Give me just a second. Yeah, that's Big M doing what Big M does, which is absolutely fucking nothing. Just a terrible, terrible person. All right. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, it's Belle. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Miss Belle. How are you doing this evening?
Hanging in there. Been a while since I've called in. This is a really messed up topic because there's so much to say about it.
All right.
It's as though nobody's taking responsibility for the fact that we need to protect the kids. And that's the major purpose. You know, we talk about it, but it doesn't seem like everybody's doing it. It's too much of entitlement and doing what feels good rather than doing what's right.
Like, if you had like a suggestion, like, what do you think could be done to, make things safer for children in these times?
I'd say the hardest thing and the easiest thing at the same time is be a role model. Set a good standard that you want. Somebody asked me why I talk Disney all the time and that I try not to cuss and that I do these things, not because I have to, but because the fact is that it's the right thing to do. And if I don't want people, it's the old saying, treat people how you want to be treated. Well, I want to be treated nicely. I want to be treated kindly. So we have to step out and we have to do these things and practice them. And it seems like the whole society in general has taken its filter off and said, let's play the emotional card. Not every single person, not every single time, not every single moment. But it's getting into the feelings and not what the reality of it is really a problem. Can't blame drugs on everything, but there's definitely escapism.
Do you think that this behavior is being encouraged by society?
Unconsciously, yes. When you don't do something about it and you let it pass, you're still giving it an answer. It's like when your parents tell you that even when you don't do something, you still make a decision. It's the same thing. It's by looking the other way or not stepping up when you know you should. Accountability can be a motherfucker. Whether it's bringing somebody down that's of high power and value, or whether or not it's coming to the truth that you have to take care of something that's wrong regardless of how it ends up. I am not by any means a religious person. I do believe in karma, and that is a bitch I don't want to have to deal with whatever time of life. Am I perfect? Hell no. But the fact is, if you know you're doing something that is not right and you're choosing to do wrong, then I'll be damned, you deserve the full consequences of it. I don't know. I have a real hard time with things that are violation on children because they didn't have that choice. We as parents, we as adults, we as protectors are supposed to be there for them. And by not doing that, we're shortchanging not only them, but the next generation coming through. And one of the biggest problems I find is parents and caretakers and guardians being physically there, but not actually being present for their kids. Actually sitting down, taking time, and every day, and putting time in with their kids every day. I get the fact that some people have 1, 2, and 3 jobs. But letting these kids feel connected in some sort of way makes a huge difference. If you have a child that comes up that doesn't feel connected, they're going to connect to anything that gives them the attention that is needed, and that's not always going to be positive. You know, there was this thing that my mom used to say, some people gravitate to attention because they need to feel connected. And if it's negative attention, they're going to connect just to that because it's giving back to them. So it questions on not the ability of being able to parent, but how well we are trying to parent our kids and actually be there for them. And at my age, my kids are grown, so I have to be there for my grandkids. You know, and if you're young enough and you haven't had children, then you have opportunities, but you have choice. There's always a choice. Sometimes it's bad and worse, but there's always a choice. And we can't always take the easy way out, the lesser of two evils, rather than doing what's right either. Am I far from perfect? Absolutely. But because I've made a lot of mistakes, I don't want to frickin' do that again. And we can't prevent our children from fucking up, but them knowing that we're present in their life in a positive way can help ground them and let them make better decisions rather than feeling as though they're not connected to anything. Now, as far as sexualizing, for years, television has, and movies and things have gone too far, social media has gone too far to allow children in. You know, there's a time and a place. I remember growing up and being at the table and being told, okay, it's time you go to your room or go outside and play because we're having adult conversation. The adults have let the children slip into the conversation so much. That's part of a problem. We're not letting our children be children, but because they've seen things and heard things, there's an expectation that they should be able to handle things. Yeah, not so much.
I agree. That's a very good point, though. I do think that's a problem. I definitely remember being escorted out of the room a couple of times when adult conversations were taking place. But yeah, nowadays it's like, you know, they let the kids all in the conversation. I almost run the damn conversation. That's something I can't stand. That's something that irks me very badly.
Now, how many of our audience has heard, this is grown folks' business, take it somewhere else, or come back in 20 minutes, or, you know, we'll let you in when you're our age, or you're not old enough to hear this conversation. We don't do that anymore. We've let the door open, and these kids have had to handle adult situations that aren't necessarily, one, they're either ready for, or two, they don't have a need to have that responsibility of their innocence taken away from. You know, we're guilty of taking these children's innocence away when we allow them to see things that they're not grown enough to handle. Some of it happens by accident, and some of it happens by, or I should say, some happens by default and some happens by choice. You know, you can't help when an adult gets in a car accident and dies and a child is left without a parent. That's a loss of innocence. But the parent can choose not to bring, you know, all sorts of other people in through the home so that the child has no stability. That's a choice. Anyway, that's my 2 cents for tonight, and guess I've gotten the party started, and I'd love to hear from everybody else.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely, absolutely. Miss Bell, the bell has rung, and class is in session. Yeah, but I definitely do agree. I think that we as adults have to, you know, kind of be more cautious of the things, how we handle certain conversations around the kids, how we handle the kids in certain scenarios too. I cannot dispute that. But yes, the bell has rung and class is in session. I thank you for getting everything jumped off this evening.
Okay.
All right.
Night.
Good. Heidi and Big M, terrible people, awful people, the worst people. I don't know who's worse. Yeah, I know who's worse. I mean, it's obvious. Excellent. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Yeah, this is Lee. How you doing?
Doing very well. Lee, you are the gentleman I wanted to hear from. I was hoping to hear from him. When I was making this thumbnail, I say, man, I ain't heard from my boy Lee in a while. I'm definitely hope he calls in and shares some insight on this topic tonight, because you've made reference to things in the past, and maybe folks have taken some of the things you have said lightly, but it seems like maybe not as much now. What's on your mind, Mr. Lee? How have things been, first and foremost? How you been, man?
I've been okay. Could be better, could be worse.
Okay.
I'm surviving. My neighbors are kind of worse for wear, but some of them deserve it.
Okay.
A bunch of people in my city getting messed up, too. People shooting at funerals, and now Trump having to send in the Fed Secret Service or whoever or somebody or whatever, but they deserve it.
Okay. So what's on your mind when you saw the topic? What was the first thing that crossed your mind?
When I first started calling in, when you had the video up about Jussie Smollett, and like everybody was laughing at me and making fun of me, and people were saying I was on crack and all types of shit, when I was telling y'all the truth, giving y'all a heads up early. Like, I gave y'all early warning. Remember what I said back in the day? Remember, I was like, damn, y'all gonna have to say goodbye to some of them famous people and stuff, because they involved with some child trafficking and shit, and some of them be raping kids and shit, you know? And like, I was like, it's messed up. And then, but everybody didn't give a care. Like, R. Kelly get arrested, Bill Cosby get arrested, and I'm like, damn, y'all don't think that's kind of funny? Like, why the hell? You know it's serious if they gonna arrest Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was about to buy a dang gone channel. He was about to buy NBC. Remember they was trying to dig Michael Jackson's skeleton up? Remember that? They started to bring up, oh shit, he's dead. They tried to make documentaries and he was dead. There wasn't even shit they could do. What they gonna do? But I'm gonna tell you something messed up. One time I was in a room with some foul people in Wisconsin. They think they got power, they got money. And you know what they were saying? They were saying that they was going to try to put some legislation together to make it where if your kid committed a crime, the parent would have to go to jail for it. Like if your kid skipped school, if your kid shoplifted or some shit. And you know what I told them? I stuck up for everybody. I said, if you're going to fucking do that, you need to start digging up skeletons and arresting skeletons and having people sitting next to their dead grandma, because there's a bunch of people that got molested and they out of their mind crazy because of their parents. So how the hell you going to try to be like, I'm just going to arrest these people for this because it's the parents' fault? Well, if it's the parents' fault, then who the hell is it the fault of for the parents before that? Because how old is Ghislaine Maxwell? And why the hell is her name spelled like Jizz? What's up with that shit?
There may be a reason for that. I have no idea, though.
That's really ironic that she got a name, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, see? How do you feel about her? How do you, like, one, do you think she's safe?
I think she ain't the only one. I think she ain't the only one. But you notice that, did you hear about what happened with that judge that was just on the case for the for the thing that was parallel to that, like where the bank was tied up with it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Deutsche Bank or whatever the heck.
Yeah, the one that
the dang-gone judge, a dang-gone son and husband got shot up. Yes. The dude was dressed up dead ex-driver, came to the door and blasted him. The same dude that sued Jim Norton from Opie and Anthony.
Word?
Yeah, he sued Jim Norton.
That's wild.
Yeah. But you know, they got casualties from that camp. Patrice O'Neal. Remember, that's something else I used to talk to you about. I was like, yeah, I like the little dynamic where you got one person with this type of attitude, another person, it seemed like you could deal with anybody with their shitty emotions about whatever the heck they think. Remember Mike from Chicago?
Chicago Mike.
Chicago. He ain't sound like he was in Chicago. He was sitting up there talking all that crazy.
We got to find Mike, man. You got to bring Mike back to the show. It's been a long time. Mike was a very interesting caller.
Yeah. What happened to Maria? Maria.
There was an alleged Maria that popped up, a little while back that said it was a real Maria, but I had my doubts. So, we've got people around here making fake accounts and things, so it happens.
Shoot. Yeah. Did the German girl ever call in?
Heidi? Never.
Yeah.
Never. I still have my doubts about the validity of Heidi's existence.
Yeah, Heidi knows something about that shit. That she said pork chop. I know Puerto Ricans. Pork chop is a dish that Mexicans be making the Puerto Ricans and shit. And Heidi typed that making fun of Maria, so she must know some shit. But ain't she supposed to be from Argentina? Maybe that's why she know. Because everybody all mixed up and shit. They speak about parents and shit. Parents, parents is fucked up sometimes. So if the parents is fucked up, because, abused people hurt people.
Correct.
So if you think about something messed up, like, just look at this. You know how I like to screw poor black dudes over? They try to set everybody up with child support.
Yeah.
Like, your black ass better pay. These babies, these ratchets and shit that you just want to stay with, or whatever. How come they don't make white people pay for all them Brazilians?
Ooh.
Think about it. That's a whole mixed cut mulatto. Just the word mulatto. Just think about it. Every damn body from like Argentina and everybody from Brazil is mixed. They like half white and shit. Like for real. So how come they don't have anybody? They should like have Germany pay for that whole goddamn country and shit. Because it's like a whole damn country where everybody uppity and shit and think that they fucking not black and everything else. Like, did you notice every damn body from another country where it's like some black, half Spanish, some shit? The Spanish, they from Spain. How come nobody making them pay child support for the whole country? They should be paying them. Shouldn't they get reparations? I know everybody hates that word.
The R word. So I got a question, man. Like, when it comes to this situation, we see it happening all over the place and in different forms and fashions. How deep do you think this thing runs, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think this shit been going on since white people grandmamas and great-grandmamas. Because you got to think about it and shit. In order for people to be accepting shit, because, like, just picture this, right? With Ghislaine Maxwell, there's a video from an old lady. There's like an interview with a little old lady that knew her family, and she said that she helped pervert Ghislaine Maxwell, right? And it's an old lady, like grandma, great-grandma age, right? So just picture this. If somebody did something crazy to her when she was little, it chip away at her morals. Because she's like, well, if I could survive this shit, this girl could survive what I'm doing to her, adding to the lexicon of crazy shit in her brain. Like, you know how, like, Southern Belle was telling y'all about, like, you know, having grown folk conversation, not having children be involved. Imagine people that's like, they got pulled in when they were little, so they like, well, I've been exposed to this, so you'll be okay. Which is some faulty-ass line of thinking. Because just because you put some shit in somebody's head or show somebody something or do something with somebody, that don't mean that they are well-equipped to deal with it. Some people run out and act crazy. Do some fucked up shit. Become a criminal. I know everybody done dated some chick where you talk to the chick and the chick is running around wild and foul, all mixed up shit. Doing something. Like, everybody done talk to one of them chicks. But then you got to think about it. Like, they always got a backstory and stuff. So, yeah. You know, this team Maxwell, I like this part of why I was telling you that thing about the other countries like Brazil. Let me go back to that. Because a lot of people say something about me jumping from this to that. But I got a sense of humor. So sometimes I try to say something funny to get you to be laughing and whatnot. But anyways, you know, Epstein was trying to start something on Zorro Ranch where he wanted to create his own little family race, like where he wanted to get a bunch of different girls impregnated from different places. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah, but that's part of the fucking situation. He had a thing called Zorro Ranch.
That's wild.
And he wasn't doing no heroic shit. He was just slanging dick.
Terrible.
Yeah, but Ghislaine was okay with that shit. Nexium was cool with that too.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Nexium, the girl from off of the Superman show? How you gonna fuck up the Superman show?
So now I never watched it, but yeah, I heard she's from the Superman show. That's crazy shit, though.
Man, they messed up every damn thing. Did you hear about Chrissy Teigen deleting all her damn text? And you mentioned that cartoon. You ever heard of that cartoon, Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
You ever heard about what Dan Harmon used to do?
No.
Dan Harmon, if you look him up, he used to make some perverted stuff too. But he got one of the most popular TV shows right now.
Yeah. I actually like Rick and Morty, but yeah, I didn't know he was doing some weirdo shit. It made me think twice about it. Like I said, man, like right now, you know, you kind of got to be about the shit you say. You can't be talking about, you know, fuck this, fuck that, but then you kind of sneaking and supporting a lot of these behaviors. And like I said, I'm looking for reasons to cut shit off right now. So, you know, I'm definitely have to look into that. It'll be sad. Big fan of Rick and Morty, but I can't be supporting no perverts out here, no fucking pedos. No, that's weird shit. It's one of them. What's that dude? The one who's real big on YouTube, the gay guy, because he had like a weird thing that he used to do with like this little, like a little kid puppet. It was like a little kid puppet that was supposed to be like obsessed with him. Supposed to be like an 8 or 9 year old puppet with just some weird shit. They used to have some weird ass videos. They were like up on YouTube. They recently took him down and shit. But now, you know, they use him every time something goes wrong. Like he's the problem solver or something. This motherfucker's a pervert too. You know what I'm saying? Like Shane Dawson, that's the one. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Popular on YouTube, Shane Dawson. Ain't that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a whole bunch of wild videos. Like, if you look in the rabbit hole of shit going on with him, but then you got to think about how many views he was getting with him being that crazy. Because it seemed like they were trying to normalize the shit to get everybody used to it, to be okay to it. If you want to know something fucked up, like, there's, like, different weird-ass directors that did movies where they was, like, trying to yell about it on the low early, and people didn't peep out when they was talking about it. Like, there was this one director, I think his name is Takashi Miike, but he he had some movies, DOA, like Dead on Arrival.
Yeah.
And, like, he had this, like, plot in the movie where there was supposed to be some rich dude that was, like, the mastermind. And he didn't want people to have kids. He wanted everybody to be kind of like that little kid in your thumbnail.
Yeah.
But you got to think about this. In order for that kid to get situated like that, the parents have to be cool with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at a certain point in time, whatever the hell the mom is saying is okay for the kid have to make people uncomfortable. But black men, we desensitized to some of that shit because we already had to deal with some of that. Especially from the Chicago area, because in the Chicago area, they screwed black people over so bad. Because remember, they did a thing where they set up something called the project. And in order for a person to get housing, they couldn't have a man's clothes be inside the house.
Yeah.
So it turned Papa into a Rolling Stone. So we already dealt with it. Like, we was the first project they did. If that was a social experiment to see how bad a family could be, you know, they had those documentaries on gangs and every damn thing else and stuff. Like, in like 15, like by the time you're 15, you able to get pregnant, so then you turn to Brenda got a baby.
Damn.
And Pookie. Pookie from New Jack City.
Yeah.
Or the little dude from Minister Society, O-Dog. So we already dealt with that. We already know what a broken home turned into and stuff, but now white folks starting to have it aimed at them. And the funny thing about it is they like showing denial and got so much Stockholm syndrome and conflict of interest, it's hard for them to deal with it and shit and be rational about it. Because if your house is fucked up, your house is fucked up, you know. You can lie all the fuck you want to and shit, but, you know how they say it take a village to raise a child?
Yeah.
If everybody in the village don't want to take no responsibility and shit, then what the fuck is going to happen to the child? Ghislaine going to pick them up.
Damn.
Have them on back pages and shit. have your kids on YouPorn or whatever the fuck and shit. You like, I'm looking for my baby. Where's my baby? Come up here and find them on YouPorn.
That's fucked up. But yeah, if you ain't on top of your kid, if you ain't on top of what's going on, what they watching, what they paying attention to, I mean, this world is out to devour, grown folks. So sure shit is gonna, chew kids up and spit them out too, if possible. So you gotta be on top of all this shit. Yeah, I definitely agree. And you gotta kind of be upfront with your kids too, in my opinion.
Dude, you remember how I got clocked in, man? Remember I told you I started doing security with a girl, and then I had a detective come to my house yelling at me, saying that she was a piece of shit, that she was on crack at age 12, and a 12-year-old did not have money. A 12-year-old can get a job. A 12-year-old does not possess legal tender to have a dang crack cocaine habit. That means that an adult had to be giving her drugs. You know what I ended up finding out? After that detective said what he said, he fucked up, and they mixed one of the dates up. One of the dates they said was when she was 3 years old. So when I called back to it, and I'm like, what the fuck they were saying was going on in, it's 97 to 98 or whatever with you. And she was like, I was 3 years old. So she didn't even fucking know. Now I want you to know something. You know those are sealed records. When something happened to somebody when they that age, that's a sealed record. Why the hell they tell me some shit? You speak of some people that's some key words. Wouldn't that classify that? What if I told you the only person that was associated with that was a guy named Raymond Hartman? And Raymond Hartman, if you look him up on CCAP, was trying to take court access. He got a case around that time frame where he was supposed to be doing like 40 years. He had like the Class A, which is like the Class X in Illinois. You know, so that's when you got a 40-year charge for like raping a minor, and that shit got covered up. And a bunch of people was acting like I'm lying, but I ain't lying, because all you got to do is go on the speak app and type his damn name. You know, Hartman with 2 N's. No E. Hartmann. Raymond Hartman. Just type that goddamn name into the thing and people can look it up, and that'll validate what the fuck I'm saying and shit. But that dude should have been in jail. He turned it into a drug thief because somehow got the mom arrested. So, and that's funny because your first call at Southern Belle, she mentioned drugs. Do you know a lot of people use drugs to control victimized women?
No.
A lot of people do. If a person is addicted, they got to come back. If a child is addicted, they got to come back. A little kid don't know how to fucking make money for themselves, so if you sexualize a child and have a person run around doing shit they ain't supposed to do, then they'll just be like, well, I don't know what to do to get some fucking crack, so the only person I know is Raymond and his auntie, so I'm going to come back over to their house. You know? I don't care how much you love your kids. How the hell are you supposed to compete with a drug addiction? It's hard as hell to compete with that, even when they get grown.
That's true. That's true. You ain't lying about that. Appreciate the love, Miss Beta Spaghetti. Yeah, you definitely, you definitely want to be trying to compete with the dope man. That's one that you can't. That's one you can't beat.
Yeah, ain't shit you can do about it. And you know, everybody that bumps into a chick that got a drug addiction at one point, and then you trying to hide it from you and stuff, and it's like, the hell you doing? Are you cheating on me? And you say they cheating, they get mad and shit, but it's like they simping off to get high and shit. So like, but how the hell you gonna compete with that? That's love competing with addiction. It's hard as hell to compete with any damn thing. Like as a parent, as a new boyfriend or somebody, like you can't compete with that. What if I told you there's people that were doing science experiments?
Science experiments.
And these science experiments in a PDF you can look up. Have you ever heard of a PDF called 95 MK Ultra?
No, I haven't heard of it.
Would you please look that up when you get through doing your show?
95 MK Ultra.
95 MK Ultra. It's a PDF file, but it's a Senate hearing. And it's about how some guys were trying to validate how they were opening up drug houses in the Midwest with taxpayer dollars. And they said that they were turning girls in the Midwest into prostitutes. And they were getting money for that. And they were also trying to get black men and Mexican men, Asian men. They were trying to be diverse with it. They were trying to use the females to lure different people there. And during the questioning, during the Senate hearing, they were trying to ask of the guys why they were coming into the drug house. They were calling it a drug safe house. But they had a red light up like it was a brothel. Yeah. And they was like, well, how come you guys were going into the place when the red light was up? Like, how can you explain that? How you justify that? Like, that shit is a clue to part of what the hell was going on when people be thinking about, well, how the hell was get fucked up? Because, you know, black folks is poor. How the fuck a dude on welfare get his hands on AR-15 and shit? His mama wasn't giving him no allowance. How the hell he get a whole fucking kilo? How a little kid get a kilo in the project in Chicago? This shit was coming from weed food. And this fucked up shit is they always blaming us. Like, well, how come you guys fucked up? Like, you know, brothers is lazy. Brothers don't be fucking running up to Mexico and shit to smuggle their own dope back.
Yeah, that's a different conversation we have, but nah. Yeah.
I don't know if I got the chat room upset with any of the shit that I said. Did anybody piss off over what I said?
Nah, I don't think anyone's upset. I'm telling you, man, the chat has changed so much. Everybody just calm and see. Look, that's what it is. See, everybody got the Rona and spread and calmed everybody down in the den, and that's the real side effect. People been calm and people been all nice and friendly. Nobody disagrees with anybody anymore. Everybody's buddy and shit. I don't know. But see, that's the crazy thing though. But in the Discord, everybody goes off. Like now that people can actually talk to one another, people be going off on each other in the Discord. Like it's more warfare in the Discord, but in the den, the actual stream. Like so, as people people come in here and think, oh, it's a nice little conversation. It's a nice little community of folks, and then they get in the Discord, to keep the conversation going and get beat up and attacked and shit. So y'all, that's what's been going on. Y'all the ones doing the okie doke. It used to be me with the okie doke. Y'all doing the okie doke now. I see what's happening.
Oh man.
Okay.
Dude, it's just a weird situation, man. If you look at some of the stuff, man, they've been doing some of this shit since the 70s. So, it's sad.
Yeah, I agree.
But I hope nobody was thinking about what I said. I really do. Because I'm telling the truth. It's not like I'm lying and shit about what I'm saying and shit, So, and I feel bad about the crowd. One time you tried to riz me about the shit. Like, I can't remember what the hell episode that was I had called in on and shit. But, like, seriously, just because I know about the shit, I'm from the hood, just like you. Remember, I asked you to do a song with me before, back in the day and shit, when I first was calling in. This shit, I wasn't equipped for to be dealing with this crap when that first got dropped in my lap. Like, you know what I mean? So, it kind of made me feel some kind of way when I first found out about it and stuff. So I understand other people have different dogs in the race while they be upset or be pissed off and whatnot. But it's not my fault that I'm just like saying like, well, these people do this and these people do this, and they found a scam to make money, So like if you look at it and shit, like that's part of what it all boils down to. Because think about how much money Epstein had.
Too much.
Blackmailing other people.
Crazy.
Blackmailing other people.
Crazy.
And here's something else weird, too. Think about Kanye's ass, right? Mm-hmm. Kanye is next to John Legend with Chrissy Teigen. And now he's trying to run for office, crying and freaking out. I was about to kill my baby. But they some white supremacists, and they trying to get my kid to be in Playboy, and all of a sudden he's saying this shit.
Yeah.
And everybody not reading between the lines about some of that shit. And I know some about him. I know something about his motherfucking ass. He full of shit. That motherfucker, his motherfucking ass, he'll put a fucking contract head out on your ass and shit on some shit. And remember he was saying that about Jay-Z. He's saying that shit about Jay-Z. Please don't send no killers at my head. Fucking Kanye monkey ass got into it with some guys that I knew from New York. He said Ralph Lauren was born until I wore him. And them New York dudes got pissed off and they sent a swarm of motherfuckers to try to fuck him up at the airport when he came back to New York and shit. And that was like when he did that song Barry Bonds. Remember that song Barry Bonds with Lil Wayne on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that I ended up getting into it with them motherfuckers with Kanye's fucking camp over that shit, and I didn't have a fucking thing to do with that shit? I don't give a fuck about no clothes. Them motherfuckers, how the fuck two grown-ass men fighting over some clothing line that neither one of them own? Ralph Lauren. How the fuck Kanye and Thurston men fighting over some fucking clothes? I didn't understand the fucking shit when the shit was going on. I was getting beat from Thurston's motherfucking homeboy. He did the beat on my song Nobody. I had a song called Nobody on YouTube and shit. Produced by MRB. That motherfucker from their camp. And they got a dude named Uncle Nick that got a channel on YouTube. Uncle Nick tried to make fun of Kanye a couple days ago in the video, and he vaguely was talking about this shit. You know, when them motherfuckers got into it with Kanye, you won't know what the fuck they did that didn't make no sense to me. They invited Kanye's ghostwriter, Ron Fest, to come and do a song with the Dot X. You remember the Dot X from Brand Nubian?
Okay, yeah.
Why should Dot X come to do songs with them after I fucking started working with Rompy? Mr. Rompy Boker, MRB. Me and him was doing songs and shit, and nobody liked his beats, but I could spit on his beats and make good songs, right? So after I started heating up the track, then all of a sudden, the Dot X come in, and the Dot X do a song with Ron Fest. And I'm looking at it sideways because I'm like, wait a minute, didn't y'all say that y'all got into it with Kanye? Don't y'all know that's Kanye ghostwriter? They literally invited this ghostwriter to come out there, and then right afterwards, the dude started dissing everybody doing Good Friday. When Good Friday was coming out, them little weird songs was dissing all of us. And the fucked up shit about it, nobody from the lowlight camp and shit defended themselves. I was the only person making songs going back. So, like, all of my songs, like, look weird. Like, it looked like a movie where it had, like, the date that I recorded the song and everything. Because Kanye and them back some of my beats and, like, some of my song kind of stuff and other shit, lyrics and whatnot. But I ain't sued his ass. Because the motherfucker was, when he was doing the Good Friday shit, he was talking about, when you sue us, that's why my lawyer is Jewish or some shit. Or some shit. He said my lawyer is Jewish or something. He's full of shit. But anyways, I wasn't trying to sue his ass. Like, to tell you the honest God truth, I want to punch him in his fucking mouth and shit. I'm from the hood. I'm from the hood. I don't want to fucking sue your ass. I want to put my foot up your ass, you fucking raggedy motherfucker. But how the fuck I'm supposed to catch the nigga? I got a job doing security, protecting big ass rock bands and shit, just so I could start whooping motherfuckers' ass that was sitting up there like, oh, that little low budget nigga from Chicago, he never gonna be nothing. Okay, I'm gonna be at the arena though, nigga. With security uniform. You know if he had a fucking vest on that said security? I thought that was ironic and shit when he was crying. My daddy didn't have no time, you punk motherfuckers. That's half the hood, you dipshit. Man. Should I not cut him out since his ass trying to run for president?
Well, you know, when you run for president, you fair game for criticism.
And then the other thing, too, this is the other shit, too. Like, Ron Fest had a song talking shit. Ron Fest full of shit. I was a little ass kid on the fucking freewheel when the motherfuckers were running around in their heyday. I was a little kid when they was running around in their heyday. So I wasn't fucking in the same circles as they punk asses. And they not even the toughest motherfuckers from the hood. That's the shit that really offend me, because they talking some shit about sex and all that other shit. Like, you don't even get no respect in your sex. Motherfuckers, you don't need to know who the fuck, like, how you know I ain't fucking protect every goddamn body in the fucking set? I'm not a little motherfucker. Talking that stupid ass shit. When he got his ass whooped, he ran to the fucking police. Dyed his hair blonde and shit, same as Kanye. You know they got a foundation too? Like, them dudes, like, I don't know. Like, them dudes full of shit. Like, they fucking, like, they'll do something fucked up. And remember Kanye had that song, Black Skinhead? Why do
yeah.
you think he had this song Black Skinhead? He thought it was cool the way he made a song calling himself a black skinhead. Now, Kim, a fucking skin, now she a white supremacist. Now, Chris is King John Hill. He got a lot of nerve. That was something else. Didn't I say that the Aryan Brotherhood had something to do with what was going on with the human trafficking? Yeah. Kanye want to be our president shit. You think that maybe he trying to distance himself from everybody that did wrong to people like me? Everything I said, a person, if they curious, can look it up and type it in to their YouTube and look it up. Uncle Nick got a channel. He's saying Star is biting him. Maybe Star is biting him. You know, you ever heard the Star Report? Look up Uncle Nick's channel. Uncle Nick, he got a channel and shit. He's associated with the lowlight. They can't even lie about shit. Them motherfuckers is on my fucking Facebook. You know Sadadek's real name is Derek Murphy. Wanna know why I know? Because that motherfucker likes my music. He on my fucking Facebook. The nigga on my Facebook don't even fucking talk to me and shit. Gave my song to Ron Fest, bitch ass. This nigga trying to run for president. These niggas ought to be somewhere for treason and shit. John Legend ass a fucking perverse. He one of them P-words. They said this was his own bitch. She deleted her tweet because she was saying he was a P-word. I'm sorry, I'm cursing about the other part, you know, because I might got a Disney shirt on, but I don't give a fuck about cursing. No, I got on a T-shirt that say 2 thumbs up with some Mickey Mouse hands on that bitch.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. A little Disney, well, I don't know, because they say what they want to say about Disney, too. They say some stuff about, you know, every power player. It seems like everybody who has risen to prominence. You know, they had that thing, too, a few days ago, a week or so ago, about Wayfair. What did you think about that? Do you think that they found a way to brush it under the rug? Do you believe it was a real thing? Or do you think people just took something and kind of ran with it?
The Wayfair situation and shit, I believe that could be true. You want to know why?
Wow.
What if I told you I got a book bag where I keep news articles and shit? What if I told you, remember, like, I called in one time and I was saying, like, I was speaking with the people like the Hatfields in the sport?
Yeah.
What if I told you I was speaking with a rich dude and one relative was in that PDF 95 MK Ultra? His nephew or somebody, or cousin or whatever the fuck, he ran fucking Kalahari Resort. A bunch of other places that got turned down, like Mount Olympus and shit. Somehow he got like money in that. But he used to own a pizza place called Pizza Club. His name's Todd Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck, when me and him started getting into it over what he was doing to the girl, remember I told you that the detective came to my house talking shit about the girl?
Yeah.
You know? Why the hell he put an ad in the newspaper saying get down with the leader? And this how much of an octopus he was. My fucking roommate. I have a roommate. A Jewish dude named Johnny Moss, right?
Yeah.
Why Johnny like 100 applications? He thought I was gonna go get everybody from my neighborhood to come out and do security up at that fucking resort. Because I was doing security for live concerts and shit. So now they trying to be cause they had the security did something fucked up and exposed itself to me. And he moved in my apartment building, but he was working for Tide, the rich dude that was a human trafficker. He's just like basically a Midwest version of Epstein. So this fool, he fucking sends John Joseph, his fucking head of security, to my fucking apartment building. Now, you notice why I said his Christian name. I'm saying a Christian name because them motherfuckers won't sue me. Want to know why they won't sue me? Because you have to do discovery and all types of other shit. and everything I'm saying is fucking true, and his ass is on the fucking lease because he rented a fucking apartment in my fucking apartment building. How everybody from Todd Nelson's human trafficking camp moved into my apartment building and took over 4 apartments and shit around me. But I do security, so obviously I'm alert. So I'm like, something funny about this. So obviously I question every damn body around me. Like, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? And everybody like fucking money coming from Todd. They did some stupid shit trying to act like they was going to surround me, but I'm from the hood and shit. Like, motherfuckers, if people in the hood be getting scared when they shooting dice and they be fucking having me say their ass, what the fuck make you think you gonna pull up on me and shit when you a white boy? White boys are allowed to pull up fucked up and then some broke niggas and shit that just at the drop of a hat get mad over a dice game. If I could cool that situation down, how the fuck I'm not supposed to catch you? You know, they don't even know about chief of security. You know a person could be chief of security?
A person can be chief of security.
No, chief. Like an Indian chief, like, woo.
Yeah.
Chief of security.
Oh, man.
Like, you could be the chief of security. You know how they got Chief Keef?
So, what's the deal with the chief of security?
Oh, the chief of security be the head of the damn security for like a fucking group, like a gang. You can have a chief of security. What if I told you a bunch of different people were trying to fucking recruit me? I got invited to Ireland.
What were you going to do in Ireland? What was going down in Ireland?
There's a girl that do music that wanted to date me, and her uncle got put out of, he got arrested for trying to blow up Margaret Thatcher.
Goddamn.
And still got him out of jail. So he's the uncle of this chick that do jazz music named Melena Gilliard. Melena Gilliard popped up, and DJ Vlad was trying to hit on her when she was trying to talk to me. Before DJ Vlad's channel blew up, because DJ Vlad took over the Loud Records contest, which is how the fuck I met the dudes in New York, where the fuck Kanye's punk ass got mad and shit at every damn body that I was doing music with. So DJ Vlad monkey ass and shit. You know how everybody be saying DJ Vlad a motherfucking fed and all types of shit after he got his ass whooped by Rick Ross?
What?
You don't remember that?
Wait. Wait. No, I never knew that. When did that happen? When did that happen?
Shit, back in the day. That's how he got famous and shit. I don't know how and shit, like he got famous. Like he got his ass whooped. He put out that Rap Phenomenon Tupac album and shit with that 50 Cent Tupac remix on it.
Yeah.
Blew up off. Yeah, DJ Vlad. He ain't made a mixtape since he did that shit because he got his ass whooped by fucking Rick Ross right after that shit. And somehow Rick Ross had to pay him some money, and then he flipped that into like getting black folks that's dumb and poor with no upbringing to get on his channel and snitch on themselves and shit, like ARF and all of them and shit, and fucking they come on this show, talk their shit. He even got the fucking the fucking real gangsters. He had Ori Spado and shit. Michael Franchese and all of them motherfuckers. He having the Italian gangsters call up on his show snitching on themselves and shit. But he tried to hit on the chick that was trying to talk to me from Ohio, the fucking Melena chick. Like, he tried to tell her to come and fly out. He ain't know she broke. He wouldn't offer a plane ticket to her and shit, but he was like, why don't you come out and you can run the website. You can run the Loud Music contest. They had a contest. What if I told you I beat the dude that won round 4 in a freestyle contest and shit? Like, I beat the dude. His name was Bill Bugatti. I fucking tore him up. So I wrap circles around all of these motherfuckers that come. In fact, I rap so motherfucking good, niggas had to mumble rap.
So who ultimately ended up winning the contest? The Loud contest?
Fuck that contest. It was rigged. It was rigged. 50 Cent had his niggas call me up and tell me that shit was rigged. I talked to 50 Cent's fucking cousin. He had his cousin fucking call me up and shit to tell me that contest was rigged. So when they told me the contest was fucking rigged, because he was like, and I already did the math for it, because they was like offering a certain amount of money. And the fucked up thing was when the contest fucking was over with, they split the money between two dudes. It wasn't even enough for one person to put out a fucking record. Because 50's cousin was saying, like, well, you know, you got to grease everybody's palms and shit. Like, you got to pay money and shit under the table and shit for the radio stations to play the song and shit anyway. And so you need this much money to pay for this and this and that other shit. Like, all of the money is going to go to that. And I was like thinking, like, damn, that's fucked up. So you know what I did? I just made friends with all of the producers and got a ton of beats. Remember that was something else I was trying to tell you. That, like, I got some beats right now that'll kill people's shit. Like I got a whole bunch of different producers' names and all types of different shit. Like when they fucking posted the shit was weird, they had this weird ass website and shit where they was like, write a song for Ludacris and submit the song for Ludacris and this, that, the other and shit, but it was supposed to be ran by Sha Money XL or some shit. It was like something where they had like all these extra beats that they didn't have, but they wanted people to be a ghostwriter for. So you know what I did? I just went on the website and I took like 200-300 of the fucking beats that was real good. Fucking was like, fuck all y'all cheating motherfuckers. Because you know what they was doing during the contest? They was trying to tell everybody to promote some weird white dude that ends up saying he was gay, and the motherfucker don't even rap no more. I can't even remember his fucking name.
That's
he had a song called I Love College. Speaking of that shit, like this gay agenda shit, like they fucking had this gay rapper that they was trying, this little white dude. But he had a song called He Love College. He was kind of fighting off Kanye, because remember Kanye was like the college dropout?
Mm-hmm.
And they was trying to promote Dr. Dre. He was supposed to be doing detox or something like that, and he never did that either. So, like, I was looking at that shit like, y'all not going to put nobody's fucking song out if y'all trying to promote Kanye, whoever this gay white boy is, and this other person and shit. If y'all promoting them, y'all not trying to promote anybody else. No, but that's what they did and shit when DJ Vlad took over the Loud contest and shit. Because, like, just imagine this. If you're in a music contest, do you think that it makes sense for them to have the judge switch up?
Switch
the contest going for a year? How the hell you going to change judges if the contest is going on for a year? Because the judge wouldn't have seen the impact you made per month. So, like, if you was doing all of your hustling, because part of your hustling was supposed to be that you get somebody that was supposed to be in the music industry to give you an industry cosign. Hence, the .X, probably. You know? But anyway.
Okay.
I don't know.
Strong and great. Appreciate the love, sir. Yeah, that's wild, man. Like I say, it's just it's all crazy. But again, like I say, you were definitely one of the first people to to kind of bring up some of these things that have been going on kind of under our noses. And like I say, since then, a lot of crazy stuff has come out. And I find it very funny too that Twitter had deleted a bunch of that QAnon, a bunch of QAnon accounts. But yet, they have no issue with people who, basically promote the P word because they have it in their terms of service and phrased in such a way where it's basically acceptable. Basically where they're saying they accept it. It's okay to say stuff like that. But if you call somebody a name, shame on you. Like I said, that's why we got this whole thing backwards. But yet, I think where people are willingly wanting to move backwards. They're encouraging this shit.
All right, peep this. With the QAnon crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
You notice something. I'm in the Midwest, right? Have you seen the video of Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, where she's sitting up saying, I'm trying to set up people that pledge allegiance to the New World Order? She said that out of her fucking face. She said it out of her face. She the fucking mayor of Chicago. She would say, she mentioned the housing authority, and she mentioned the sheriff. She threw them under the bus. Or she was humble bragging that some of the damn sheriff is the New World Order. How the hell does Brian validate every damn thing I was saying? You know the detective that came up to me was a fucking sheriff? He was a Salt County fucking sheriff, Detective Clay Lynch. So, like, look, so if they think they the New World Order and he's the fucking sheriff, and they fucking mess with little girls and protect people that rape some girls and shit, like, how the hell you so fucking thirsty you trying to chase after some chick that's blasting a fart on my couch? Fuck out of here. Like, really? Is that serious? You got new Pokemon? You got to catch them all?
Yeah.
Got to catch them all, including the little gay food that you got in the fucking thumbnail. They want all of them. His mama, too. Me and you, your mama and your cousin, too. They want all of them.
That's
That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Like, you won't fight somebody with a neck like a pit bull. Like, seriously, like, for real, you want that many beefs? You want all types of beefs with people? You want beef? You want beef with people that's supposed to be the hitmen and you lucky don't want to be the hitmen. That's how retarded they are. Because you know what they do. They hitmen, they be killing and double-crossing the hitmen. I had a fool calling himself the Rooster come up to my house a little bit ago, and he was, like, chewing on his hat. He had two hats. He had one hat to wear on his head, and he had another hat to chew in his teeth because he was getting double-crossed. So they were trying to kill him. And I'm like, dude, like, you losing body weight and shit. Like, they doing you something dirty, right? They fucking you up. But anyway, he was saying, like, I'm Rooster, but I'm Cody. They got him thinking these two people and shit. They just fucking spun him around so bad and shit. Like, fucking, you know. But anyway, fuck all of them. Fuck them. They doing shit they ain't supposed to be doing. They kind of get what they deserve. But I think it's wrong for them to be trying to make it so that people can't voice their opinion or put out true evidence for stuff. Because, you know, I've been shadow banned off of YouTube. And it's hard for me to post stuff up and do different things. So I kind of sympathize with everybody else. But I'm kind of looking at it like, you know, since I've had to go through it early in the game, because I've been dealing with what's going on since 2009. After I joined the 2008 Loud Records contest, man, just think about this. As a person from the hood that can rap, because you can rap, just think about this. All I did was I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to, you know, use my talent to try to make a little money, buy my mama a house. What the hell's wrong with that? Who the hell have an issue with that? Then I find out it's all of these people doing weird shit and, you know, motherfuckers that got tendencies and all of this other shit. And I'm looking at that shit like, you know, like, oh, well, maybe that's just a rumor. Like in 2010 to 2011, I wasn't believing it. I was like, oh, you know, I didn't believe it until one of the shorties that know me, that look up to me, he was like, if one bad thing happened to you, okay, whatever, that's just happenstance. If two things happen to you, that's a coincidence. If three things happen to you, that's an enemy action. You know, a shorty told me that. You can't argue with logic. When he said that, I was getting stitches in my face.
Damn.
I was getting stitches in my face. And my sister, who was 8 months pregnant, was having to go to the fucking emergency room and shit. And like one of the shorties was like, you know, you done had a whole bunch of stuff happen to you in like fucking since the 29th on your birthday, and well, not on my birthday, but on the 29th of the month after my birthday. Like something bad happened on the 11th, because my birthday was on the 12th, and shit kept happening to the 29th. On the 29th, my face got busted open, and then I was having to go to emergency surgery over my face. And while we was going to the surgery route, car got fucking hit. And my sister was in the car, and she was 8 months pregnant and shit. That's how much of some bullshit shit that be going on when them people put contract hits out. So Kanye fucking tears and shit. Like, I look at that shit like, fuck him. Fuck what he talking about. Cause his ass, he a fucking sick, like, Aryan Brotherhood on somebody. And he gonna rap, brag, and say he fucking a black skinhead motherfucker. Okay. But now you don't want the skinheads to hurt him. Now Kim is a skinhead. You know he a fucking, what is he supposed to be? Like, that girl was different race. Yeah, ain't she
Armenian or something like that?
What is she? Armenian?
Armenian or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, what is Armenian?
I don't even know what that is. I'm going to be honest with you.
Armadillo land? Where the hell they come from, the Armenians? Are they, like, they're not Turkish, right? Are they something similar to that?
Don't let me lie to you. I have no idea.
Well, I guess that's what the talent did Tim for get you. I guess that's what Boulay get you. You sitting up sticking your dick in somebody and shit thinking it's all good. I don't care about everybody else and stuff, but it's care about me. Kanye. Now you want to be president and get diplomatic immunity or something.
Yeah, who knows? He may know some things. He sounds like it's finally starting to break him. But here's the deal, Mr. Lee, man. We'll get ready to wind down, take one or two more calls. But like I say, it was definitely good hearing from you. It's been a minute, so I definitely wanted to chop it up with you and hear your thoughts on this, man. But it's good to hear from you. Good to know you're all right.
I don't know. I think this shit's funny. He's pretty crazy. He's supposed to be working. He signed off half of the company to their pride. And she fucking committed. Have nothing. Oh my god. But anyway, yeah, man, stay up.
Well, really, that's a bit, man.
Yeah, great show, man.
That was a bit, all right, mate.
Yeah, it's good to laugh with you.
Oh, man. We got one of them laughs that's contagious, man. Yeah, I know y'all like, well, why did you let Lee talk? Because, goddamn, because I can, right? Because it was really funny. It was a long while back, fucking, almost a year, if not more than that. Lee called in and he said some things. People said Lee was crazy. People said Lee was talking out his ass and he was just saying some wild shit. And it's interesting because a lot of that, or some similar things to that come to fruition. What's the motherfucking deal? We got called in to the den this evening.
Hey, it's Daniel, sir. How are you doing tonight?
Dan, the motherfucking man. How you doing this evening, Dan? What's going on, Mr. Dan?
Well, I'm doing all right. I'm currently doing some marketing studying. I'm about to finish one chapter. I was going to just focus on that tonight, but I saw your topic, and yeah.
Okay. So what about the topic stood out to you?
How serious this problem is. That it's frightening. So I did a little looking up because when I call in, I try to look up some information that's relevant from a factual source, the best I can find on the internet. And a lot of websites have come to the conclusion that over 800,000 children go missing every year. It's been like that for the past few years.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's what frightens me. Now, let me clarify that. Now, some of them are custody cases. Someone takes their kid, and they break up with their spouse, and they leave to a different state or even a different country. It happens a lot when it comes to Canada or Mexico. That's right next to the U.S. Sometimes the child wanders away and gets into some sort of accident, and unfortunately passes away. But a lot of the times, these kids are kidnapped, and you know what happens after that.
Correct.
I actually, and this is crazy. I was almost kidnapped as a kid.
What?
Yeah. So I was 6 or 7. I can't remember exactly. We was at some little town fair out in Virginia, and I wandered away from my family. Being a curious little kid,
Yeah.
and I wandered to the parking lot, and there were 2 men, 2 white dudes. They said they were from the news station, and they wanted me to get into their van to do a news report on something. I don't remember everything, but I remember this much. I remember seeing them and kind of thinking, should I do it? And then I just ran.
Yeah.
I ran back to the park because my parents told me, from the jump, don't be talking to damn strangers. I'm going to beat your ass talking to strangers. So I'm glad they said that because I was a gullible little dumbass kid, and I could have ended up on a milk carton.
Yeah. Good
So that's fucking frightening.
Yeah.
I got lucky. But a lot of kids don't. And the whole thing about this being a ring, I mean, I'm not surprised. The only thing that's going to surprise me, actually, I won't say who's involved, but like how deep it goes. So we know about that judge whose son got murdered and her husband is critical condition, as far as I know, from this random FedEx guy who's supposed to be tied to him over some men's rights advocate. The previous caller said it was an open Anthony once or twice, and he's right about that. It just seems that's a very convenient excuse for someone that was getting involved in that case, because she was just assigned to that case a few days before that happened, and it involves Deutsche Bank, which is one of the most corrupt banks in Europe. It's insane how much shit they're involved in. So it's just 2 + 2 is 4,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's real wild, because if you look at it, you like I say, you say all the names and how deep this thing runs. If it does kind of go into all the corners of entertainment and possibly government, because we're just talking about some of the ties that Mr. Epstein himself had. I mean, what is that?
Yeah.
What's that saying about America? What is it saying about the people in power? Like, do we need to hit the reset button, or do we need to what do we do? What can we do?
I would like a reset button. I was going to donate this, but I didn't want to interrupt the previous caller while he was talking. But I said the only real cure to this problem is a short drop and a sudden stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't. Jesus forgives. I don't play with none of this shit. I don't get why people think kids are attractive. Actually, here's the thing. Once again, on Twitter, the cesspool of the internet, there's these things called MAPs. These people who call themselves MAPs. That stands for minor attracted person. And they have all the pronouns that they choose and all this other shit. And this is what a lot of us have been saying about the far left. They accept all the out there viewpoints and things like that. They accept all sexualities. They don't question any of this. Some of this stuff is just, besides science, I mean. And there's these people who are on their profile say they're minor attracted people. Like, where's the FBI for these motherfuckers? Like, someone start watching these dudes, their accounts, see if they got anything on their hard drives.
And that's weird as shit, because motherfuckers always want to sit here and talk about fetishizing things and doing weird shit. Like, that's perverse, because when you see somebody, when you generally think of somebody, and I guess you think relationship or whatever, like, you can't be minor attracted, because nobody's a minor for fucking forever. So it's like, this is just a blatant way of saying, hey, I'm a fucking pervert, and people are fucking okay with it. And the fact you say maps, maps is disgusting, because what is a map? A map is a direction. It shows you how to get from one place to another. It's supposed to be a guide.
Right.
When I think about that sounds like people who get in certain positions. You always talk about, when you hear about these pedophiles and these child abusers, they get in positions and jobs and careers and fields where they can do that. Like, that almost makes me think that these are people who were strategically putting themselves in a way to have access to children. Map, like, that's fucking disgusting, man. That's fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's another way kind of like to get past like censors, because if you put like, I am, you know, that P word, I don't want to say it out loud, I want you to get your channel demonetized.
Yeah.
If you say that, it's like, that's a big flag, so they come up with different terms for it. And just like, there's other YouTubers who talk about this in more detail, just how sick these fucking people are. But that's just the ones who are getting caught,
Yeah.
and who are exposing themselves.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of this huge rings I see, I was assume the majority of Hollywood is compromised. Both parties definitely compromised, and political parties, you know. Definitely definitely some of these high up CEOs, some of them might be involved in it. It's just, you know, I think a lot of us look up at some of these people. I don't anymore. I don't give a fuck about these people.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, that's what's going to break some of people's hearts, someone you follow for years. It's like when Bill Cosby, when I found out about all that shit. I don't know how much of it's true or not, but I know he's sitting in prison.
Yeah.
And that, you know, I love the Cosby Show, man. You know, it's funny because, like, I love the Cosby Show, seeing black people doing good.
Yes.
But I also love Married with Children because that reflected my family life, a lot of anger and violence. So,
did you know a black guy
funny,
created that character, Al Bundy?
Not surprised. That's sure.
Because they were talking about because they were out there trying to cancel Al, and they were I saw some people on Twitter trying to get some type of movement to cancel Al Bundy, and they were like, "Yeah, go ahead and cancel Al." You realize that a black guy actually, you know, created the character, and you know, so I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. But, you know, this whole cancel culture, and when it comes to black men, they're kind of a side note. Unless one of them gets killed by a cop, then they want to put them every T-shirt. You know, that's how that should go.
Yeah.
So, man, I mean, this shit is infuriating. But here's the thing with this current Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell case. This is what might happen. This is my assumption. The only time we'll find out about half these names is like 30 years from now, because I'm sure documents are being sealed by certain departments in the government, and certain, you know, I heard there was a bunch of Hollywood documents were sealed. I don't know all the details. I have to look up into that later. I'm not finished studying tonight. I probably won't be on the Discord, but yeah, it's infuriating, and just yeah. That's all I have to say, man. Just they're everywhere. Watch your kids. Like I said, I almost became a victim. Watch your kids. Please watch your kids. Please.
That's so fucking crazy. I don't know. I don't even want to know. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. It's a crazy thing. It's a disgusting thing. But yeah, like you said, people are trying to normalize it, and the fact that it's so prevalent in society, it's a scary thing because you just have no fucking idea. You got to definitely be extremely careful of your kids. I mean, even if you leave them with coaches and teachers, and I mean just anybody. So. You know, and if y'all got kids, talk to your kids. Have those conversations. You know, you have to. Okay, well, that's a bit. Anything else that's on your mind there, Mr. Dan?
Man, look, good luck, Kanye, man. I don't know what that man going through right now, bro. I don't know what's popping with that man, bro. I'm really concerned for him, man.
Yeah, I am worried about old Mr. Ye. There's seems to be going through a lot of stuff right now. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
No. You see, I know a lot of us. I mean, it's kind of human nature. The Schadenfreude, we like seeing people's downfalls. I really don't anymore, unless you deserve it. Like some of these celebrities getting caught, like Chrissy Teigen deleting thousands of tweets.
That's crazy.
I guess they had some suggestions to them. I ain't got enough time. This one not on social media. I ain't got time to be deleting all my comments and shit. Look, I wrote what I wrote. You know, it is what it is. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But it's not illegal to write what I wrote. You know, see, that's what one thing I do love about social media. All the dumb fuckery people put on the internet, it's there. Yeah. You know. So you can delete it all you want. Someone probably snapshotted it, dumbass.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you can delete it, but it's once it's there, it's there. Like, as soon as you put something up, somebody screenshotting it or taking a picture of it, or it's you know, there's internet archives and things like that, you know, there's so many different ways of recovering shit. Like it just I don't even know why they bother. You just do better leaving it up. It's gonna be
Right. Well, like I said, man, I don't want to take up your time all night, bro. I got to get back studying, and I didn't want to divert into other subjects. So I was with you have the proper topic to divert into other subjects, you know.
Okay. Well, absolutely. Well, Mr. Dan, man, like I say, well, I hope you get through the market. Hope it ain't too boring for you, and like I say, get your studying in. I know you're gonna handle that, so that's no question. But I definitely appreciate you taking the time out to call in and share your thoughts with us, man.
Thanks for answering, man. I appreciate it, bro.
Right,
hey, Dan, you have a good night. Oh, absolutely.
All right.
All right, y'all be safe, man.
All right, then. Appreciate the call.
Hug your kids. I ain't bullshitting. Hug your kids.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
All right, man.
All right, then. Yeah, man, you definitely, if you got kids, hug them. If you got kids, show them you love them, because God just might call them home. If y'all don't know where that's from, well, y'all don't know nothing about Southern hip hop. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we got calling into the den this evening?
It's your boy Josh again, man.
Nah, I don't want to talk to you, Josh, man. No, not tonight. No, I'm sorry about Josh. I'm fucking with you, man.
Damn.
No, what's on your mind, man? I ain't gonna do you like D Love, man, because I ain't seen D Love since. What's on your mind, Mr. Josh? How you feeling, sir?
I'm doing all right. I'm gonna just admit it's kind of been a slow Thursday. It hasn't been crazy. I mean, that's a good thing.
Is it? Or is it the calm before the storm? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, does it just kind of lull you to sleep? Oh, maybe things are getting okay. Maybe it's not so bad. And bam, kicked in the face, with some old crazy shit. Tomorrow, something off the wall finna happen. It's gonna be the most ridiculous shit you've heard in 2
we're about
weeks.
to walk into a tropical storm, so no pun intended. So,
Man, fuck that tropical storm. I got whatever supplies I need. I think I do got this craving for a burger, but I know I don't need to eat that bitch. But if it's gonna, how long?
that's good. So,
how long the tropical storm supposed to be in here?
I guess by this weekend or next week, I guess. I don't know.
That's terrible. I ain't got time for that. All right, go ahead.
Talking about being progressive turns into perverse, right?
Yes.
So it reminds me of sometimes it's good to try to be innovative, to try to think in new ways, but at times it's just like we do too much. We trying to overdo things, and that's what's going on. Like, I guess in my generation,
That's cutting out real, but I can't hear nothing.
yeah. So
okay. All right, cool.
yeah, so people tell us we can't do, but in parents we're doing things that is our stage.
That's just kind of back on that cutting out thing. I can't like it's.
Yeah. So we're doing that's the girl crazy. If that makes sense. So being progressive is a good thing, but it's going overboard. It's getting out of control.
Maybe I think everything in moderate. Like, I think people try to do too much too fast. Like, I think people get to this like I'm out progressive the other person. Like, so we just to prove I'm woke or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I do agree that it can be a little bit too much. I think we're having an overdose of it right now.
Yeah, that might be, and I guess it might be a little too much of a good thing, I guess. So, and we're seeing it today with, really with people in Congress because, for example, it's like, okay, being progressive is getting rid of old history, tearing down statues that could be racist, things like that. But you can either A, ask for legislation to do it like they did in Mississippi, or B, get people to tear it down just by force. And if you notice, it's not black people doing it; it's Black Lives Matter, Antifa, or everybody in one doing it. And then next, you see Portland still on fire, protesting about. I don't even know what they're protesting about at this point. They just burning shit.
They protesting because it's Portland. Come on, man! Like, what else you got to fucking do in Portland but fucking protest? Like shit. You ain't gonna watch no fucking Trailblazer games.
Yeah. Portland's it's a weird place, but anyway, even the progressiveness. I mean, people in this case, people try to have their cake and eat it too. And the reason why I say that is this: even there was this one text that's talking about that most people end up having conservative values, but they don't want to say it out loud because they're afraid they want to get canceled. Like in one breath, they're against capitalism, but they're taking advantage of it every single day.
Correct.
And this one person, I guess on Twitter, pretty much, and when I seen it, I was like, yeah, this puts everything into perspective, right? I think I talked about it in the Discord, how like, welcome to Houston, welcome to Houston and welcome to Austin, really, because Tesla finally made the move to Austin, which is going to increase more in housing. And I feel sorry for, poor people in Austin, because at this point, I give it 2 years, Austin is going to turn into completely how San Francisco is looking right now.
Oh, yeah, it's well on the way.
So, like I said, businesses move in, the people move, price everybody out, and you know the rest of that story. So, and don't look now, Honcho, but I think I said this since then too, but you're going to start having neighbors that's my age buying up houses and shit, but people don't think about, county taxes and windstorm insurance and all the other fun things that come with buying a house. So,
because bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what it is, a bunch of bullshit. Oh, man. Yeah, you definitely, we'll get into that one day. It's a whole other topic. I don't even want to talk about that shit. It's definitely a lot more expenses than you anticipate. So, it's always something. But it is what it is. I mean, it's a blessing. So, all right, okay. What else is on your mind, Mr. Josh?
Yeah, and the reason why I actually said that because, like, if you see right now, it's okay. I'm moving to Houston. I'm moving to Houston because I guess Houston's just turned into Black Atlanta at some point. Houston just turned into the promised land overnight for some reason, especially Katy.
No, niggas stay wherever the hell they at. We don't need no more nothing. We don't want no niggas. Don't want no Cali people. We don't want no nothing. Look, I'm sure y'all Cali folks cool. But look, I already got enough Cali partners out here. Shit. I got more Cali partners in Houston than I got Houston partners. Shit. That shit don't make no damn sense. Got Cali ties to fire. I'm finna start firing folks, goddammit. We don't need no more. We're full capacity. Y'all wasn't rocking with us. Y'all gonna be coming over here trying to cheer for y'all bullshit ass team. We don't want none of y'all. That shit over with. The door, I'm finna put a no-fly zone for everybody. But no, I mean, it is what it is, though. It's gonna happen. But the stupid shit is what's gonna happen is people are gonna want to move out here, but keep voting the same way that caused them to ruin wherever they were from that wanted them to move out here. So, not realize, hey, it's you and your the goofy shit that you support. That's what makes life like this. So, Texas is gonna be cool for a little while, but it's gonna be on its way down too. If they, you know what I'm saying, like if they continue to do what they continue to do, man, I don't think it's no stopping it. So,
and the reason why it was so ironic because guess what field that the person that moved here is in?
What is that?
She's a part. She's trying to be a part realtor, someone that sells homes to people, and I'm just like, now everything makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real estate. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because shit, these motherfuckers is about coming to this motherfucker every day by the thousands. Shit, you better try to sell something, goddamn.
Like we the land of Egypt and shit, the promised land of the Bible or some shit.
That's why you better start buying shit up now. If you know motherfuckers is coming, you better start have you some rental properties. The motherfuckers gonna be full, but then they gonna be talking about kill the landlord. So you better be ready to shoot a tenant or two if you got to. You gotta do what you gotta do. Protect your property.
And that's where the progressive starts because when they come, they usually vote that way because usually Twitter tells them to, and then state changes. And that's why Texas is part swing state. I would have to admit it now. due to the people that move. So, like I said, and one thing I tell people is this, because these people got two choices to make. Either you people stop moving here, which that's not going to happen, or you start voting conservative, which that's not going to happen. I mean,
I mean, you see, shit is going to get ruined because people, like I said, they want to have the benefits of something, but they don't want to change their behaviors. And then when it starts to get ruined or become just like the place they left, they just think there's going to be somewhere else to roam. After a while, look, we're going to be burnt all the shit up. Like, it ain't going to be no more spots to, unless you start going international. So, you know, it is what it is, but people got to pay attention. There's a reason why things work so well. And it ain't going to be the same shit that, you know, you just moved from and you think it's going to work like that. But, you know, people figure it out when it's too late.
No, but I guess in here it's a perfect spot because there's a balance. It's not too much either way, and it's balanced the right way. But again, too much of a good thing ends up bad. So, yeah, and we'll see how it goes. But that just intrigued me, and that just shows how, I guess, the progressive wave is going, and it just shows how people try to have their cake and eat it too at the same time. Yes. That was the point I was trying to make.
Okay. Yeah. I agree. They definitely do try to have a cake and eat it too, but you know, it always works out, and it doesn't work out in the end. So, like I said, right now everything may be peachy keen, but we'll see. But that's a bet. All right, Mr. Josh. Well, if you ain't got nothing else, I appreciate you calling in, sir.
All right, man. Take care, man.
All right, you have a good evening. Now, I feel like that's the last call. But. Right. Because I do need to wrap it up here shortly. We are going to be in the Discord. Right. I'm going to say shout out to Miss Rashida. I appreciate the love. Thank you, ma'am. You know, all the love doesn't always show up on the screen. But I appreciate the love. Shout out to Miss Rashida. But we're going to slide in the Discord after this, man. If you're not in the Discord, you've been missing some great conversations. If you want to chop it up live with the other den folk. But yeah, I got to slide. And actually, I don't even know if we hit the full 2 yet. Actually, right on that. Okay, perfect timing. But yeah, I'll be right here in the Discord shortly after this. I got to take a small Honcho hiatus. And then I'll be in there. I mean, my name will be in there, but I won't be participating probably about for a few minutes. But I'll put a link to the Discord in the chat. Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. Then show live on Facebook. Make sure I ain't missing nothing. But we're going to continue this conversation in Discord because there's some things I kind of want to talk about. But, you know, YouTube ain't always super friendly. We can speak, you know, permission to speak freely in the Discord. So make sure you're in there. I'm going to chuck up a deuce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I appreciate y'all for coming through this evening. And, yeah, make sure you're in the Discord. I'm going to put the link in there. And then we'll go from there. Look, y'all ain't got to go home. I'm inviting y'all to come into this Discord and continue this conversation. But y'all do got to get the fuck up out of here, as do I. Wow.